Will you make me famous? Then I did not care. I'm a blabbermouth, so enjoy editing this. Hi, my name is Alison Johnson. I'm a costume designer, makeup artist. I work in professional theater, regional and smaller. I also work with a lot of educational drama programs, mentoring and costume designing. I have a very full freelance schedule with makeup gigs. I do a lot of photo shoots. I do a lot of headshots. I do a lot of weddings. I just try to keep very busy, using as many of my skill sets as possible. I went to the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was the first graduating class of the technical theater design program. So I was part of the guinea pig class. I really did start in the very first year of the program, and I was among, I think there was, I want to say 13 or 14 of us that we started the program together as freshmen. But then by the time I graduated, there was only 6 of us. So it was like survival of the fittest. There wasn't a specific costume design track. Okay, so I figured out early on that that's what I was in school for. I wanted to learn costumes. That's what I wanted to be doing. Being a part of a first class of a program was tough, but I think that it really helped. But because of that whole experience, I feel like it is the reason I am the way I am today. That like I just push for everything I want, because nothing's gonna be handed to me, and it hasn't been ever. You know, I've never been shy to talk to anybody at all. So living in Philadelphia was, it's a great city. It's a little bit of a tough city. It taught me a lot about being independent, taking care of myself, how to survive with very little money, but also to like not give up, because everybody's like striving for something, and everywhere you go in that city, everybody's trying hard. So a day in my typical life is me awake by 10 in the morning. I'm usually starting my day. Mind you, that's because I'm out late working on theater. Theater is a late night art. So I'm not usually up before 10. So I'd be up at 10. I either have to go to a meeting or I'm on a phone meeting. I'm usually heading into the city at that point, depending on like where I am in my process. I maybe have to go and like meet a costume director at a theater so that I can pull and borrow costumes. So like I will have scheduled out a 2 or 3 hour period for me to do that. Daytime stuff, I'm pulling, I'm shopping, I'm doing paperwork. Evening time, I'm at a rehearsal usually. I might be watching a run through. I might be doing fittings. I might be doing measurements. It depends on where I am, what show I'm working on. Because at any given time, I'm usually working on 2 to 3 shows. And they're not always in the same place. So I'm like in Virginia, I'm in DC, I'm in Baltimore. So it's also a lot of time management. So when I get to do something that's sort of a little out of the ordinary is when I maybe get to consider building. So I did a production of Cyrano de Bergerac with a movement and dance company in Crystal City called Cinetic Theater. And they use no words in their performances. They tell their stories all through movement. And so going into a show like that, I had no idea because Cyrano de Bergerac is set in the 17th century. So I was like, oh gosh, am I going to do like swashbuckling, like 17th century? And then they came to me with their concept, and here's where things can like totally go crazy and interesting, and where I get to like be the most creative. They said, we're going to sort of set it in a circus, and these characters are all clowns. And I said, amazing. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean for me? That means that I get to sort of take this world of circus, and I'm going to throw in some 17th century aspects, and I was able to like just roll with the creativity on this one and say, I think that Cyrano and all of our clowns could have these sort of clown jumpsuits that still allow plenty of movement through their whole body. But I'm going to do it with like two different fabrics so that we always have a contrast. So that there's always something shiny and there's always something visually textured that is like a complete contrast. So that there's showing elements of like that clown sort of satin shine, and then there's also this element of like textured almost upholstery-like fabric that would have been seen in the 17th century. Mix that together, but then it's in like one clean jumpsuit that a clown would wear, because then you need to be able to do like acrobats and dancing, and I added ruffles, and we added like pom-poms, like pom-pom buttons to make things a little more clowny, and we really played hard with like the clown makeup. I had a friend of mine who does special effects, prosthetics, build all of my clown noses. They were custom, and he built the Cyrano nose. So, you know, everything that you saw on that stage was made by me, and some help from friends and people who I hired to come and stitch for me. That being said, I don't get to do that a ton, but when I do, it's very, very fulfilling, and it is just a true piece of art. I get to put that on the stage. Like, I made all of that. I don't know if I would really want to make any changes. I believe that everything that I did or had come to me, opportunities that would just come to me, were supposed to. And I don't know if I should have, or like, I don't know if I should even spend the time thinking about like what I should have changed. Don't hesitate to make connections. Do your best to save money. Do your best to stay connected through media, through emails. Put yourself out there. And don't stop. You have to not stop. You have to be ready to hustle. I hustle like crazy. My hustle game is strong. But it had to get there. I had to learn that. So I feel like that's actually really good advice. Be ready to hustle.
One more question. Who's your favorite sister?
Caroline.